are the nation's strength. You are the nation's future. Let's rise with the spirit of success.
In line with the government's development program to uplift the nation, People's Bank introduces the Business Power Loan Scheme to empower small and medium enterprises. Visit your nearest People's Bank for more details.
Let's rise with the spirit of success.
In a few moments, the news.
People's Bank introduces the Business Power Loan Scheme to empower small and medium enterprises.
This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Precisely 6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by Lal Mallavarachi, read by Sharifa Tahir. Headlines. The President has instructed officials to take measures to locally manufacture fertilizer. Anu Nayaka of the Malvatta chapter says the President should have unrestricted power to take decisions for the country. Minister Keheliya Rambukwala says the election manifesto was clear on the government's mandate to scrap the 19th Amendment. The 20 crew members of the MT New Diamond that were rescued by the Sri Lankan Navy have been taken ashore. The Colombo city receives heavy rains. The UNP will take a decision about the deputy on Monday. And news overseas, social gatherings above 6 are banned in England. Local news in detail. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has instructed officials to take measures to locally manufacture fertilizer. Phosphate reserve located in Eppavala can be utilized mainly for this purpose. At a meeting chaired by the President to discuss the future activities of the State Ministry of Regulation of Fertilizer Production and Supply, use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides took place at the Presidential Secretariat yesterday. The President emphasized the need to minimize the use of chemical fertilizers. President Rajapaksa also instructed the officials to provide fertilizers to farmers without any shortages for the Maha Paddy season. Anu Nayaka of the Malvatta chapter, Venerable Dimbul Kumbure Vimala Dhammathera says the President should have unrestricted power to take decisions for the country. Under the 19th Amendment, the President's powers have been slashed, making the executive presidency inactive. The government has been given a mandate to remove the 19th Amendment, which had caused many problems in the governing of the nation. Therefore, it is the government's duty to bring the 20th Amendment soon for the well-being of the people and the country. The Thera made these comments when State Minister Consultant Dr. Sita Arambepula met him at the Malvattu Viharaya yesterday. Meanwhile, Media Minister Keheliya Rambukwala said the election manifesto was clear on the government's mandate to scrap the 19th Amendment, and doing otherwise would amount to betraying the masses who voted this government into power. While participating in an inspection tour of the Sri Lanka Foundation Institute, he said the people had given consensus for this and the government is bound to fulfill and execute the will of the people. The minister further stated that the Attorney General has made his observations over the draft proposal and the government intends to make progress on the matter. He added that those in the opposition are welcome to make their objections or arguments and that the government would not bar them from making their proclamations or announcing their stand and that they were free to voice their opinion. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation giving you the news.
People's Bank introduces the Business Power Loan Scheme to empower small and medium enterprises.
Continuing with more stories here at home, the 20 crew members of the MT New Diamond that were rescued by the Sri Lanka Navy have been taken ashore after completing PCR testing yesterday. The Sri Lanka Navy sources say that following all precautionary methods, crew members would be taken to an isolation centre in Galle. Meanwhile, the sources confirmed that the flame on MT New Diamond has been taken under control, hence the heavy smoke is not currently visible at the shore. Currently, 9 ships, 5 tugs and aircraft belongs to the Navy, and other disaster management mission partners are making their all-out contribution in this disaster management operation, which is taking place about 30 nautical miles off Sangamankanda Point. The United National Party may not appoint a successor to party leader Ranil Wickremesinghe this year, but put it off for next year, party officials say. The party's legal secretary, Nisanka Nanakara, is proposing that the party first fill the vacant deputy leader position and have that person step into the leader's position on 1st January 2021. The party will likely take a decision about the deputy on Monday at a working committee meeting. The deputy leader post is vacant because Sajid Premadasa, now leader of the opposition in parliament, broke away from the UNP and formed the Samagi Janabala Vegya. The breakup of the UNP shortly before the elections ended up with the Grand Old Party suffering the biggest electoral defeat in its storied history. That's on local news.
Let's rise with the spirit of success.
In line with the government's development program to uplift the nation, People's Bank introduces the Business Power Loan Scheme to empower small and medium enterprises.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
And on the main news story, Speaker Mahinda Yapa Abeyewardena named 18 members for the Committee on High Posts in Parliament today. They include Chamal Rajapaksa, Nimal Siripala de Silva, Dinesh Gunawardena, Johnston Fernando, Douglas Devananda, Bandula Gunawardena, Kehelia Rambukwala, Udaya Gamampila, Ramesh Patirana, Sudhashini Fernandapulle, Vidura Vikramanayaka, John Senaviratna, Anura Pridarshini Appa, Vijita Herath, Rishad Badiuddin, Talatatu Korala, and Sarath Fonseca. The main task of the committee is to look into whether persons named by the President to important posts such as heads of Sri Lankan diplomatic missions, secretaries of ministries and heads of corporations are eligible to hold such posts.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And on What's Light, Irrigation Minister Chamal Rajapaksa said that under the Vision for Prosperity policy of the present government, he will develop the country's irrigation network. Accordingly, barren paddy fields which remain uncultivated for decades will be brought under the plough. The regime of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa will ensure that the aspirations of the people are fulfilled. He requests the landowners not to leave their blocks of land empty and unattended.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
From
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines: social gatherings above 6 are banned in England. Oxford University corona vaccine trial paused after participant falls ill. California wildfires, hikers rescued as blazes rage. World News in detail. Social gatherings of more than 6 people will be illegal in England from Monday, with some exemptions amid a steep rise in coronavirus cases. A new legal limit will ban larger groups meeting anywhere socially, indoors or outdoors, Number 10 said. But it will not apply to schools, workplaces or COVID-secure weddings, funerals and organised team sports. It will be enforced through a £100 fine if people fail to comply with police, doubling up to a maximum of £3,200. Final clinical trials of a coronavirus vaccine developed by AstraZeneca and Oxford University have been put on hold after a participant had an adverse reaction in the UK. AstraZeneca described it as a routine pause in the case of an unexplained illness. The outcome of vaccine trials is being closely watched around the world. The AstraZeneca Oxford University vaccine is seen as a strong contender among dozens being developed globally. Finally, on World News, rescuers in California have been airlifting dozens of people trapped by a huge fire as crew members continue to battle blazes across the state. An initial attempt to rescue the group stranded in mountain refuge for 2 nights was abandoned on Monday night because of smoke from the creek fire. But helicopters were able to land early on Tuesday to whisk the hikers to safety. Fires in California have burned through a record 2 meters acres in recent weeks. 2 million acres in recent weeks, and that's on World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
And on development news, the Urban Development Ministry is to renovate the old Gafur building in Fort. The government workshop and the Sri Lankan Navy will provide workmanship architecture for this renovation project. State Minister Dr. Nalaka Godaheva and senior UDA officials yesterday participated in a function to begin restoration of this iconic building in the city. And on sports news, the Executive Committee of the Sri Lanka Cricket has unanimously approved to conduct the inaugural T10 cricket tournament in December this year. 8 teams are scheduled to take part in the tournament, which is to be played in 2 venues. The names of teams and the venues are yet to be finalized. After the conclusion of the Lanka Premier League in November, all players who participate will be free without any further engagement. And as a result, SLC opted to use this time frame to give these players a further opportunity to get into action, which will be conducive for their future tours.
The wait is over, and it's time for you to experience happiness. It's time to remap the graph for success. It's time to rebuild your empire. It's time to initiate your entrepreneur dreams. Empower your dreams with NSB Wings. Get your 2-year personal loan for just 7% per annum, starting from 500,000 rupees to 10 million rupees. All you need is just one guarantee. NSB Wings. Recharge the high goals.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
And on business news, Pawata Dairy Industries Private Limited will soon be exporting butter to Japan and milk powder to China. Pawata Dairy Industries Chairman Aryasila Vikramanayaka says that Sri Lanka has reached self-sufficiency in milk and the company has decided to export butter to Japan and milk powder to China. He said that the company will be initially exporting 50 tons of butter to Japan and 100 tons of milk powder to China and will gradually keep on increasing the export with the passage of time.
The wait is over, and it's time for you to experience happiness. It's time to remap the graph for success. It's time to rebuild your empire. It's time to initiate your entrepreneur dreams. Empower your dreams with NSB Wings. Get your 2-year personal loan for just 7% per annum, starting from 500,000 rupees to 10 million rupees. All you need is just one guarantee. NSB Wings. Recharge the high goal.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Hello, Puta, did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And on economic news, Fitch Ratings in its latest global economic outlook released last Monday expects global GDP to fall by 4.4% in 2020, a modest upward revision from the 4.6% decline expected in June GEO. The recovery in economic activity after the unprecedented severe coronavirus-related recession in March and April has been swifter than anticipated, but we expect the pace of expansion to moderate soon.
Congratulations on your promotion. Heard you gave a treat for everyone in your department yesterday.
Yeah.
When will be our treat, huh?
Well, how about today?
Oh no, I was just joking. We'll have a party with your new salary.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Weather report was sponsored by
CIB Janajaya Vasana 15th stage draw commenced 24th August to 13th September. Discounts up to 40%. Come today to CIB.
And on the weather update, the Department of Meteorology releasing an advisory said the showery condition over the southwestern part of the northwestern province of the island is expected to enhance to some extent from tonight. Fairly heavy rainfalls of about 100 millimeters are likely at some places in western Sabaragamuwa, central and northwestern provinces and in Gaul and Mathura districts. During the last 24 hours, Colombo has received the maximum rainfall of 137 millimeters. Some areas in the city have gone underwater. Gaul, Kahadua and Etkandura have received 112 millimeters each. 101 millimeters is reported from Udugama. Weather report was sponsored by
CIB Janajaya Vasana 15th stage draw commenced 24th August to 13th September. Discounts up to 40%. Come today to CIB.
Before we wind up, back to the headlines. The President has instructed officials to take measures to locally manufacture fertilizer. Anunaik of the Malwata chapter says the President should have unrestricted power to take decisions for the country. Minister Kehali Rambukwala says the election manifesto is clear on the government's mandate to scrap the 19th Amendment. The 20 crew members of the empty New Diamond that were rescued by the Sri Lanka Navy have been taken ashore. The Colombo city receives heavy rains. The UNP will take a decision about their deputy on Monday. News overseas, social gatherings about 6 are banned in England.